Hi everyone. Today we are talking about our life skill, how to be a self-starter. So, there are quite a few things that you can do to be a self-starter. One thing, you need to be aware of who you are as far as a morning person or a night person. That will help you determine whether to plan things in the morning or plan things in the evening. Sometimes people work better when they're up in the morning and they're getting things done, and sometimes people work better in the evening, in the late hours. So finding out when is your time to accomplish things, your time to organize your thoughts and get things ready for what you have to accomplish. Figuring out that time. There are different things online that you can do, quizzes to take to find out when your time is if you don't already know. I know I'm not really a morning person. I know I accomplish a lot more in the evening. So when I'm planning things, I try not to do it first thing in the morning. I try and do it a little mid-morning, so that gives me a little bit of an adjustment period. Sometimes you just have to do whatever the task is at hand in the time frame that it's given to you. So with that being said, if you are a night owl and you know you have something in the morning, you have to prepare for that. You have to get yourself psyched up and do what you have to do to be ready for that next day.
Hi guys, today we're going to talk to one of my really good friends, Maddie Pike. How are you doing, Maddie?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good myself, and I'm so glad you're doing good as well. The first question I have for you today is, how do you get yourself motivated?
Okay, so how do I get myself motivated? Well, it all comes down to taking it one step at a time. So you really gotta focus on the end result of each step. So, like, if I'm working on school right now, so each semester is like, well, my end result is, Christmas break or spring break or whatever, not, oh my gosh, I have 4 years of school to get through. You got to focus on this week or this day, and then maybe reward yourself at the end of it. Like, when I get this assignment done, I'll go make myself a cupcake or something like that. And also, you really just have to focus on the benefits of what you're doing. So, like, yeah, maybe it's hard right now, but I'm going to have a degree at the end and I'll be able to do all these things that I've always wanted to do. Organization really helps me as well. Like, I have 3 planners, a dry erase calendar, and then 2 regular calendars in my room. That might seem kind of excessive, and I would say most people probably don't need that much, but just you gotta find what works for you. And for me, like, I just have everything I'm doing and then due dates, and then, like, not just this is due this day, but I write like this is when it was assigned to me, and this is when I'm going to do this part of it, and then I'm going to do another part of it. Like with essays for me, like I'll be like, it was assigned to me this day, I'm going to do my research on this day, I'm going to do 1 page here, and so on. And it doesn't just have to be school, like it can be anything. Your fitness journey, you plan out, I'm going to eat this day, I'm going to do this workout this day at this time. So when you plan it out, it's easier to see the big picture. And I would also suggest planning out, rewards for yourself. Like, I don't know, at Thursday at 3 p.m., I'm going to watch a movie with myself, or I don't know. So For some people, the organizational part doesn't work. A lot of people are spontaneous, but that's just what works for me.
Oh, that is awesome. My second question that I have for you is, what is your number one challenge in getting motivated?
The biggest challenge for me with getting myself motivated is when things don't go according to plan. So maybe I will say the night before something, I'll say I'm going to get up at this time, I'm going to get this done, and here's my whole day of what I'm going to get done. And then let's say I don't wake up to my alarm and an hour's passed and I slept in extra. And it's like that all or nothing thinking of, well, now my whole day's ruined. And I think a lot of people struggle with sort of the similar thing where they'll say like, well, I was going to start, I don't know, my fitness journey back in November and now it's February and I haven't done it, so I guess I'll never get to it. Or some people feel like their age has to do with being motivated, like, oh, I'm in my 40s, I can't go back to school, or I've been at this particular job for however many years, I can't change now. Like, yeah, you can. And something that I've, like with my major, I was a junior and I was like, I can't change my major. Like, I'm so far into this program, but I did because it's just not worth being unhappy. So what motivated me to do that is knowing, okay, this is going to relieve me of so many things. And then, future me is going to thank me for this. And one of my favorite quotes is something like, don't let the amount of time something takes keep you from doing that thing, because that time is going to pass anyway. So it might take me a whole, maybe my goal is to read like 10 books over the summer. And it's like, oh, that's a lot of books and that's a whole 3 months. It's like, well, those 3 months are going to pass anyway. I don't want to be like end of July and be like, well, whatever. So, you just have to, not look at the amount of time something takes or how old you are or how late in the year it is, whatever it may be. That can be challenging and motivating yourself, but you really got to think about what's going to make you the happiest in the end.
That is such a good point, and it is so true that being self-motivated is truly going to make you happy in the end result. My third and last question for you is, what tip or tips would you give someone in order to be a better self-starter?
So one of my best tips for being a self-starter actually is going to sound kind of ironic, but when it comes to being a self-starter, you need other people. And I know for a lot of people, being a self-starter means you've come from a place where maybe you don't have that many people on your side. But I think even then, we have so many resources today where it doesn't have to be, a physical person right in your life next to you or anything like that. But, reading a book of some sort of celebrity or public figure that you really admire, or social media, or a fictional character even, or depending on your religious beliefs, God, or if you do have people on your side, your friends, your family, all of that. You really need people for support, because I really believe we can't do it on our own all the time. That doesn't mean you can't be independent and a self-starter like we're talking about, but just having other people on your side can be huge when you feel like you're lost, because the journey to anything is never going to be smooth. We're always going to have obstacles. So, and like I said, we cannot overcome them by ourselves. So maybe if it's not a physical person, but you're like, man, I am really lost right now. I can't get myself motivated. I can't figure out where I'm going next. Or you just feel defeated. You can, pick up a book and, I don't know, maybe it's Harry Potter and you're like, Harry was just he was always motivated and fighting for it. And I don't know, whatever that is. Or maybe it's a non-fictional book and, you know, you're reading the new Barack Obama book and you're like, man, I love this guy. And like, you know, books can be a really good source for changing perspectives and changing our motivation levels, or just seeing the world differently or feeling differently. And the same thing goes if you're not a reader. Same thing goes for movies and TV shows. There's a lot of good documentaries, or it can be fictional. And yeah, so I feel like I have progressed a lot as an individual in the last 4 years of being in college. I've become a lot more independent, but I also realized that because when I moved away my first year of school, I was very lonely, and it was really hard for me to be independent because I was like just so like depressed, and I just felt depleted. But then when I moved back home and decided to commute to school, it changed everything, because I was like, I have all these people on my side now. And then I just got really back into my reading. I like to read, so I got back into reading. I like to watch shows. I found my faith again, and I started relying on God more. And so I just found all of these things to turn back to if I'm feeling lost. And that's what made me more independent. That's what made me believe in myself more. So bottom line, you can't do it on your own, and you need other people, whether they're fictional, real, spiritual, you know, anything, but you can't do it on your own.
I love that tip, because in the end result, it is so much easier when you have great support with you and stuff to turn to. That is just awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope that helps, and I hope that you feel motivated now.
I will definitely say myself that I feel much more motivated, and I'm ready to run to the gym and like power out that workout that I've needed to do for a while. Thank you so much, Mag.
Here we are inside the library. There's no people in here, except for the people that work here. Here they are. And we're talking to them today about being a self-starter. So, as you can tell, we're in the library with just the people that work here. And sometimes it's very busy and phones are ringing and things are happening, but there are other times that everything is done according to what needs to be done. So, we're going to talk to Miss Emma about being a self-starter, what she does when the time comes that she's done all the tasks that were planned for that day. So Emma, what do you have to say about being a self-starter?
So some of the things that I do when it's slow here, especially now because it's winter out and not everybody's out and about, I'll read shelves and make sure that everything is in order. Just because sometimes it gets a little disorganized and crazy. I will make sure that we have all the forms that we need, so if we're running low on, forms for library cards or for hotspots and stuff like that, I'll make sure that those are done, and that we have enough of those. Other things that I do is I'll clean, around and make sure to disinfect anything, especially before lunchtime. So those are a couple of things that I do to
fill up that time?
Yeah, to fill up that time and stay busy.
Okay, and staying busy, it's not like you were told to stay busy. You're doing that because you're taking that initiative. You're doing it on your own because you see that maybe these other things might need to be done.
Right.
So preparing for maybe a day that's going to be really busy and you're not going to have time to do those things. So having the copy machine full of paper for a task that is going to take all your paper, and so having that backup. So in the long run it saves you time, because on that downtime, you've already prepared yourself for the busy times.
Correct.
All right, very good. Well, do you have any other things? Do you have like a list or anything that you look at? Or do you watch the clock to make sure that you're not getting into another time that something else needs to be done?
Sometimes I watch the clock and make sure. Most of the time, I don't usually have a list. I might make one if it's really like that slow. But yeah, usually I just kind of do these extra things until somebody shows up and needs help or somebody ends up calling. And
Very good.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much for letting us know about being a self-starter, and we appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
Hey there, here we are at Fat Sally's Warehouse, a vintage company here in the harbor. And they're open. We're gonna go inside and talk to my friend Amy. Hi, we are here at Fat Sally's, and this is my friend Amy.
Hi, everybody.
She owns this place, and we were talking about how to be a self-starter, and to run a business, you have to be a self-starter.
You sure do. I have Fat Sally's is my business. I also teach school, so there's both ends of that. Being a self-starter isn't easy. You have to really have faith in yourself. You really have to be motivated, and you have to want to do the best you can and be the best for everybody around you. And that's what we hopefully bring to Fat Sally's. A lot of fun for people. You have to get up early in the morning, you have to be prepared and know exactly what you want out of that day. That's what a self-starter is.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And do you have any like just one word that would be a motivational word that you would think of as a self-starter?
Believe in yourself. If you believe it, you can achieve it. I know that's a saying that you hear a lot, but you have to believe in yourself to know that you can, and if you can, you will. Truly believe in yourself, and you can make it happen.
Wonderful, wonderful, and very wise words from a person that has a very successful business.
Yes.
And obviously you have to be self-motivated to
Absolutely, and
Get
you have
this.
to want it bad enough to do it, and you can't depend on anybody else but yourself to make it happen.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Go for it.
Yay, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
So, as far as talking about being a self-starter, everyone has things that motivate them, whether it be money or power or service. Everyone has things that make them do what they have to do, whether it be school and you have to get your grades, or at work you want to get the promotion. It depends on what is happening in your life, but there are motivators. Motivators, a lot of people are motivated by money. Some people are motivated by time. Time as far as if you want that extra weekend time to spend with your friends or to do things that you like to do. You might want to be motivated to find a job or activities that work during the week so you have that free time. So kind of figuring out what your motivations are to being a self-starter, what you want as your end goal. So things like I said, money. Money is a good motivator. If you want to have a job, you have to be motivated. You have to set goals. You have to do the things that need to be done to accomplish that job. And that job might not necessarily be at work, but it might be at school. There's people that they always say when you're in high school, you are being taught to learn. It's not necessarily about the subject, but it is about the process that you go through. And you have to motivate yourself to do the things, and you might not like the work that you have to do, but you kind of have to get yourself through it so you can get to the next level. Just like a game. You play this level and you make it past that difficult time, and then you move up to the next level. So being motivated in the morning to get those tasks done, you know, sometimes they're not going to get done for you. Say you have a child and the child wakes up. You have to be motivated to get up and take care of that child. Or a puppy, and the puppy needs to go outside. You have to be motivated to take that puppy outside. If you don't take the puppy outside, then you have the consequences, which would be, you know, probably cleaning up a mess, which is never fun. So being motivated by different things. The end goal is happiness. We want to be happy in our life doing the things that we're doing. Sometimes it's a struggle, but you got to look at your motivation and what is moving you forward towards those things that you want out of your life. And those things may change. You might start with one thing and say, this is what I'm doing, this is the direction that I'm going, and life might turn you in a different direction. But staying motivated is sometimes not that easy. It's not an easy task to do, but you have to motivate yourself. You know, someone can't be by you every single minute telling you, okay, it's time to get up. Okay, it's time to, you know, do the simple things like brushing your teeth and brushing your hair and, you know, putting gas in your car, because if you don't have fuel in your car, it's not going to go anywhere. So you want to make sure that you've prepared and you've gotten yourself in a position where you can go to the next level. So I hope those are some tips that can help you stay motivated and work towards your goals. Good luck.